Hi, and welcome to my channel, Reselling Roller Coaster. My name is Heather, and I'm an online reseller. I have been selling on eBay for about 18 years now, and about 2 years ago, I also started selling on Poshmark, Mercari, and on Amazon. Today, I am going to be sharing with you my top 10 sales for this last week. So I had a decent week of sales this last week. I did have a lot of older inventory that has sold this last week, and it was clearanced out, and so it's stuff that just wasn't very high in profit. And so I have picked through my sales, and I am just going to be sharing with you 10 of the things that sold for me so that you don't have to sit through me going over and over again, oh, this wasn't that great of a buy, oh, I shouldn't have picked this up. Because really, I think most of us just want to see the things that are good so that we know what is best to be looking for when we are out in the wild shopping for things to buy, to sell. Please note before we jump in that I do not offer free shipping. So all of these items that I say the sell price for, it is the actual price of the item. They did pay shipping on top of that price. So I sold this Koala baby blanket. It's just this green polka dot blanket with a Sherpa backing on it. This is a used blanket, but guys, be sure that you are looking out for baby blankets because babies, kids, toddlers, they get attached to these things and then parents are out looking for them years later trying to replace them. So even if they're used and a little bit worn, parents are still going to be looking for them and wanting to buy them because theirs were used and worn as well. And sometimes kids lose them or they just want backups for in case they get lost, because we all know how it is when your kid really wants something and can't have it, right? So yeah, so a lot of parents will pay a lot of money for baby blankets, and of course plush fall in the same category. So I picked this up at a garage sale for just $1 and it sold for $17. I did go a little bit lower on this one because I took an offer and I probably could have gotten a little bit more for it, but I just wanted to get it moving. I sold this really cute reindeer plush set by Kelly Toy. These have the little names on the side. It's not a complete set, but these were so pretty. And I picked them up at Goodwill, and I was actually really surprised that they were in really good condition because ivory is just one of those colors that the odds of that being clean are pretty low, especially when you're picking it up at a thrift store like I did. So the Goodwill that I picked these up at, they were just 50 cents a piece. They just have a bin full of stuffed animals, and all the stuffed animals are 50 cents a piece, which is the best kind of Goodwill pricing. It always stinks when you go to Goodwills and they're trying to price them all up in like, $5 a piece, $7 a piece. 50 cents a piece is just great. So I had $1.08 into these together and they sold for $17.30. I sold these, I don't even know how to pronounce this, Enzo Angiolini, I think is my best guess at that. Black women's boots. I picked these up at Goodwill for $4.09 and they sold for $20.45. These were in really good condition. I really don't know much about the brand, but they looked like good quality boots, so I still picked them up. I picked up these Circa Joan and David croc print heels. I picked these up for $4.99 at Goodwill and they sold for $22.91. So some of these shoes are not amazing profits, but for me, I'm happy with a $10 to $15 profit range. It adds up over time. You sell 10 things, that's $100 to $150. And if you can do that each day, that really adds up over time. So for me, at least, I'm happy to take those items that are easier to find that will bring in the $10 to $15, $20 range than to look for those items that will go for $50 or $100 because they're just so much harder to find. And maybe you're in this same situation where it's easier to find these bread and butter kind of brands. And that's okay because you can still make really good money on these types of brands. You just have to sell a little bit more of them to make up the difference. I sold these Adidas boys sneakers. I actually had somebody make an offer to me that was really low, like less than 50% of the price. And I countered back and they declined. And then a couple days later, they came and they offered again. And I countered back and they declined. And then like the next day, they sent me a message that said, "Oh, can you make me that offer again? I'll take it." So I had to go and change the price because of course I couldn't make another offer to them. So I changed the price for her and she went in and paid for them. And all was good and dandy until the next day. I went to go look at my messages and she had sent me a message and I was so confused. This is what her message said. She said, "I don't understand. What should I do next? Did you cancel the one with 2 pairs? I'm lost. Tell me what to do, please." So I wasn't really sure what she was talking about. So I wrote her back and I just tried to make it clear this was only for 1 pair of sneakers and that I wasn't sure what she was talking about when she was talking about canceling an order because I hadn't canceled anything, and then just left it at that. So then of course the next day when I went to go ship the shoes, I was getting ready to send them and noticed that the title of the shoes, that they are called Hoops to Mid. So in the title it says Adidas Hoops to Mid sneakers. And I thought, oh no, she thinks that there's 2 pairs of shoes because it says 2 in the title. And I thought, really, when you talk about shoes, you say they. Maybe for some reason she thinks she's really getting 2 pairs of shoes. So rather than send the shoes, I decided to message her to make sure that she really was only wanting 1 pair of shoes and she wasn't expecting 2, because I was concerned that she was going to turn around and then be upset when she got it and there would be a whole deal going down. So I had to send a message and hold off on shipping the shoes, which stank because I have 1 day shipping. So I did get dinged for not getting those shipped out in 1 day. I just thought it was better to make sure that she was on the same page rather than to risk negative feedback when she gets it and thinks, oh, this is only 1 pair. So the next day she wrote me back and it was actually kind of funny. She intended the email to go to a different person that she had bought something from. She had bought some socks and apparently there was a 2-pack and something happened, I don't know. But she wasn't even talking about the shoes. So she apologized and said she was aware it is just for 1 pair of shoes. Everything was good to go. So those shoes are happily on their way to this lady after a lot of back and forth. So I picked these up at a garage sale not too long ago for $4 and she took them on an offer for $19. So I sold this cute monkey plush by Kelly Baby. This one is brand new with tags. I picked it up at Marshall's or TJ Maxx, just regular price there. I ended up selling this to a buyer in Canada and they left a nice message and said, "Thanks so much for listing this. I've been looking for this for over a year. My kid is really attached to it and just loves it." So like I said, guys, you've got to be watching out for these plush and security blankets and blankets because people are looking for them. But yeah, I picked it up for $6.60 and it sold for $32.97. So that one was a really good turnaround. I picked up this Bravo Team armored vehicle at Goodwill. I happened to go on a day and there were like 9 or 10 of these sitting on a shelf. Of course, this one, the package is a little bit ripped on the side. Fortunately, the rest of them were not. But when I listed these, I had somebody come in and buy like 6 or 7 of them all together. And they all went for $25, $30 a piece. There's not very many of these on eBay and it seems like there's good demand for them if you ever happen to come across these little vehicles. I had some discounts that day at Goodwill, so I ended up paying just $1.09 a piece for these. And this one sold for an offer of $21. When you're out at thrift stores and garage sales, it's always really nice on brand new items. You can just use the barcode scanner on eBay and you can look it up and it's so much easier than having to type in all of the name if you don't already do that. That's definitely something that you should try. That's what I did on these and I found them super fast and realized they were worth decent money. On Poshmark this week, I sold these Nike purple Lunar Glide 6 flash sneakers. But I picked these up for just $3 at a garage sale, and they sold for $36, and I paid $1.50 for some of their shipping. Nike is always a great brand to look out for as long as they are in good condition. I usually pick them up if I can get them for a decent price because it's something that a lot of people are looking out for. It's just one of those really good bread and butter brands and often sells for a really decent price. I found this men's jacket by the North Face at the Goodwill outlet in Washington when we were over there for the summer. And I wasn't really sure whether I should pick this up or not because it had some spots on it, like a few spots on it. I mean, it wasn't just one, but it was hard to see because it's navy blue. So even though there were a few spots on it, they kind of were hidden in this dark navy blue color. So I did point this out in the listing, and of course it was hard to picture, and so the blue is a little bit brighter than it actually is in real life, and I had to disclose that as well. But it ended up selling really fast, and because I paid for it by the weight, it only cost me $1.28, and it sold for $35. So it was a really good high profit item, and I am really glad that I decided to get it. So the last item on my list is this Tommy Hilfiger women's fleece. I picked this up at Ross right after they reopened when they were shut for a while for COVID. They had most of their store 90% off or more. And so I had some really great deals. I went in and I bought a couple carts full of stuff, and then I went to another Ross and bought some more carts full of stuff, and yeah, it was a really great day. I don't know if you happened to be around for that sale or if you missed it, but it was a goodie. So I paid just $6.54 for this, and it sold for $32, and I did pay $1.50 for their discounted shipping. So yeah, another really nice sale there. It's always nice with men's and women's clothing when it's retail arbitrage because usually it's already nice and clean and ready to go. So that's all for today, guys. I hope that you learned something that might be helpful to you when you're outsourcing for things to buy to sell online. I hope that you have an amazing weekend, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.